So, when you think of JoJo games on Roblox, they usually think of you usually think of like the big games, but there's one game that doesn't get talked about nearly as often. Roblox is Unbreakable, and it might be one of the most well-made JoJo experiences on the entire platform. So today I'm breaking down why Roblox is Unbreakable is such a good game and how it stacks up against the other Roblox JoJo games. The very first thing you notice when you join RIU is the vibe. It's clearly inspired by Diamond is Unbreakable. The settings, the characters, the tone, it's all intentional, and instead of throwing you into the chaos immediately, the game actually feels grounded. The map, it can be kind of massive if you don't know the layout, but as soon as you realize where things are, it's just the case of running there, which I do get. People don't really want to spend all their time running, but that is why they have the fast travel system in place, so you can go and just explore. And most important, that doesn't overwhelm you players at all. So it might at first seem a bit tedious, but once you start getting into the swing of things, it can be an actual fun game. But that's enough of the map. Well, let's get into the combat, because this is where the game really shines. I mean, unlike a lot of Roblox JoJo games that rely on spammy abilities and cooldown stacking, RIU feels way more control and way smoother than most that I've seen. I keep getting Discord notifications. This is staying in because, again, I can't be asked editing it out. What was I talking about? The combat. Okay. Unlike a lot of Roblox JoJo games, it just feels so smooth. Like, the fights are somewhat slower than usual than the other ones. They feel more deliberate. You have to be more precise with what moves that you make. You actually have to think about the timing instead of just mashing the keys. There is like a real sense of weight behind the attacks, and when you land a combo, it definitely feels earned. It's not perfect, but it is consistent, and that what matters way more in terms of any other JoJo games. Like, at least it's not server side. Bizarre lineage. Yeah, so the progression is another area where the game does things so right. Instead of being overly complicated or RNG based, I mean, don't get me wrong, the stands are still RNG based, so that's a good bit of it. But you know what you're working towards, you know how to get stronger, and most importantly, it doesn't feel like the game is wasting your time. The only complaint I have with what I've just said is I wish it was just a little bit more clearer, like speak to blah blah blah, and on the map it's just a little bit bigger. That's my only complaint, and that's only because I can't see properly. So, but just like a lot of Roblox JoJo games fall into the trap of forcing endless grinding, but RIU makes the grinding optional. Like, you can stay where you are and you can still have fun with the game, or you can spend some time fighting Diavolo or Dio or wherever when you get to that point in the game. You can do that as many times as you so wish, and then you can go on to other things such as the bounties. The bounties is actually a really fun mechanic. It makes you go up against other players. I wish the rewards were just a little bit better. Like, cosmetics and everything is cool to have, but I wish there was more utility based stuff that you could earn through the bounties. And I get that obviously the cosmetics do give you certain perks when you get the full set and everything, and for example, Polnaris pants, when you're using Silver Chariot, it just makes it, I think, quicker. I'm not too sure about that, but I do know that it does give you perks. But one of the most underrated aspects of the entire game is the atmosphere. I mean, the music, the lighting, the animations, everything feels like it's trying to capture the JoJo energy, and it mostly succeeds with that. It's not just about flashy effects, it's about creating the world that feels cohesive and can just the small details, like the idle animations, the sound designs, the overall experience. And that's something that a lot of games does overlook. I'll give them credit where credit is due, because I don't think Midas worked on any of it. I think he only pretty much worked on the the pricing of the Roblox passes. I'll give the rest of the team credit. Bizarre Lineage does have quite a good looking map, but so does Roblox's Unbreakable, and if I don't remember their passes prices, but I don't think they're overly expensive to be 100,000 Robux. It's insane. I can't get over that. But let's compare Roblox's Unbreakable to the other JoJo games. Like, a lot of the bigger games focus on the scale, like huge maps, tons of stands, constant updates, and while that's cool, it often does come at a cost. I mean, combat does become chaotic. Like, you can see in YBA, like, you can't really land certain combos without getting your combo, like getting combos first and like having half your health gone. Like, especially with time stop, that was a huge issue when I was playing back in the day. Huge issue with time stop, where you just like half your health eviscerated and you couldn't do anything unless you had a time stop stand, which is a Hermit Purple Hammer main. Don't get me wrong, I had my fair deal of like quite a lot of big damage combos, but I couldn't do anything against time stop stands because, again, it was a bit of a, like, unless you had like time resistance, you just couldn't win. So, I mean, there's that, but RIU takes the opposite approach, where it's quality over quantity. Instead of trying to do everything, it focuses on a few things really well. Combat, atmosphere, and progression. It's a way more approachable and honestly more enjoyable in the long run. That being said, though, I do have an issue with the way that they handled the Eclipse situation. Yes, all of Eclipse's criticisms were valid at the time. Obviously, they've progressed a lot. Like, the game's progressed a lot in that time. It's not perfect still. There's still some issues like Stealable Run and all that stuff. I don't appreciate how the developers handled that situation with the Eclipse the Clown NPC. Like, it just seems so childish, and he was reviewing the game and criticizing it. That's like literally his entire channel. He deserves like at least some respect for pointing out the flaws which can be fixed to make your game better. That's my one criticism with the devs and with the game itself. Obviously, I'm a bit biased because I do enjoy the game quite a lot, but I'm still aware of like the stuff which can be improved, like the horses and all that stuff in like Stillborn Run game mode, and also the fact that it is heavily RNG for the stands, although it is really easy to obtain the items to get said stands, so it does kind of balance it out. I don't like the skins. One thing I don't like in any JoJo's games is having skins, because then it just turns the game from being like a fun little grindy like JoJo's game, like you just fight, you get a stand, you punch things. That's what's fun. But then when it turns into just a trading hub where it's just like, has anyone got this skin? Has anyone got this skin? And people are paying like absurd prices for it, and people like, that's how like off-platform trading also occurs. I don't really enjoy that. So RIU is not perfect, but it doesn't need to be. It's like, it does what it does, but it does it well, and that's what makes it stand out, especially the last couple of months. It's more focused, it's more of a refined JoJo's experience. So like YBA, I said this in my YBA video, Roblox is Unbreakable feels like a more polished YBA. So if you are tired of chaotic combat and endless grinding, the game is definitely it's definitely worth checking out at least. It is a bit slow progressing at the start, but as soon as you get to like part 5, it does get really fun, like when you start progressing. But that is all that I'm going to be saying for now. If you did enjoy the video, drop a like and subscribe, it really helps out, and let me know in the comments what's your favourite Roblox JoJo games. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.